All right, so we're gonna move on.
It's me. Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position?
Damn! No. Super Bowl or not. Nigga! Who got the most to lose and who in that other position?
Was an exhibit. I'm trying to blow the doors off that bitch when you touch the ignition. But then I gotta remember who made this shit come to fruition. It's me.
It's us.
Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Signal conversations where I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat.
So for this part, I'm gonna quickly jump into that. He's clearly talking to UMG. It's plain and clear. He's talking to UMG. So he calls out Signal, which is the encryption app that I think Mark Cuban owns. And this app is specifically for people who want to have private conversations that aren't recorded. So I think you can do voice messages. I think you can do video messages, and you can also do text messages, and they delete after a certain amount of time, but then they're double encrypted so that they never save. So this stuff never saves and people can't crack it and hack into your messages. So that's what that app is supposed to be. So that's why he said Signal conversations will, I hope they got double encryption. So it's a play on words. He did real good with that. But that's what he's talking about. So I guess he's alluding to the fact that there are private conversations that has been going on, and he could be talking about conversations of the whole bots and them setting all of this stuff up, propping Kendrick up. And it's like, well, y'all had discussions about how y'all were going to go about this and sending messages to Spotify and all the other streaming services to boost Not Like Us. In so many words, he could possibly be alluding to the fact that he has the text messages already, and he's taunting them by saying, I hope you got double encryption, because I actually got the messages. So we don't know. Or he's saying, I'm going to find the messages. I hope y'all got the messages double encrypted, meaning they better be protected or I'm going to find them. So you got that. And then he goes into, I hate to see an empire crumble on judges' convictions. He ain't talking about himself. A lot of people were saying he was talking about himself. Even Genius going to sit up there and say he's alluding to this whole situation and him putting his career on the line over a lawsuit, and that crumbling his empire. Now that could be true. They didn't quite say it like that. I don't really want to look at their reference right now because I didn't really like how they wrote it. So UMG is a major record label. They've been around forever. And it's just like, I would hate to see y'all crumble over a judge's conviction, meaning me winning the lawsuit and taking y'all out, or at least hurting your company to the point to where you can't do the grimy business you've been doing for a long time. I.e. cough, the same shit they was doing for Drake, but he trying to sit up there act like they wasn't doing it for him. Like, come on, dude. Let's be real. And then, not to mention, when I played that line for my brother, he was like, but I could have swore they said that Drake was the highest streamed artist of 2024. And I'm like, if that's true, what the fuck are we even talking about? What are we talking about? So you still won the streaming game, but you are filing a lawsuit because Kendrick's song got streamed, but you still won the streaming game. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. When a motherfucker greedy, they greedy. It's like you give a person an inch, they take a mile. You share one cookie, they want the whole pack. Like, god damn, and they feel entitled to the whole pack. And it's like, hey dog, I just said you could have one cookie. You want my whole pack of cookies? At least are you gonna give me the money so I can go get some more? Nah. Them my cookies. I deserve them cookies. Them my cookies. Come on, yo. That shit crazy. But I digress. Moving on.
I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician. It's funny to see you all rejoicing and hugging and kissing. What are we celebrating? I'll rent out the club at Edition. Nothing was the same with all you bitches and nothing's forgiven. But next...
Oh God. So Kendrick is a musician, and you know what musicians stand for? Someone who is creating illusions. So what they're doing is not what's actually happening. And a lot of things that magicians do tend to be fake. And it's hollow. It's nothing under it, it's nothing behind it. It's hollow. It's all an illusion, right? And y'all falling for it and loving it. So much so to the point to where y'all rejoicing to the point of hugging and kissing. Okay, where's the celebration, my guy? I'll run out the club so we can all celebrate together, right? Oh, dude, hot. He's heated. Because what happened all summer? What happened all fall? We was still rocking to Not Like Us up until GNX dropped. I mean, let's call it what it is. We was rocking to Not Like Us all year. The summer was lit. Everybody couldn't wait to go to an event and Not Like Us came on just so they could rock to the song with a crowd of people and sing A minor all together. So he heated about that, and you can clearly tell, and he's being sarcastic.
See you all rejoicing and hugging and kissing. What are we celebrating? I'll rent out the club at Edition. Nothing was the same with all you bitches and nothing's forgiven. But next time, bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian.
This line right here, nothing was the same with all you itches and nothing's forgiven. He's like, man, I ain't forgiving y'all. Oh, y'all turned y'all back on me. I'm not forgiving y'all. F y'all. That's pretty much what he's saying right there.
Bitches and nothing's forgiven. But next time, bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian. The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system.
But next time, bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian. Dude, are you serious? You know Kendrick is all about ancestors. He's all about our Black history. He's all about the fact that we're kings and queens of the motherland. He's 9 times out of 10 a Pan-African. Like, he probably believes and practices Pan-Africanism, which he should, right? I mean, honestly, all of us should, because Pan-Africanism means that you believe in the uniting of all Black people across the entire globe, no matter where you come from, no matter what your background is. And Kendrick is all about that. I mean, look at the Black Panther. Oh my God. The Black Panther soundtrack, gold. Absolute gold. Chef's kisses, right? Makes me cry every time I listen to it. In a good way. To say, bury you in gold, my blood is Egyptian. Are you serious, dude? Okay, so for him to be saying his blood is Egyptian, he's clearly alluding to the fact that he's Jewish because of the Jewish ties to Egypt. But then you also have to take into account how Kendrick is always talking about his royal blood, right? And being connected to the ancestors and being connected to royalty. He's called out Egypt in all different types of ways, right? He's called out a lot of our Black ancestry and history from Africa. So he's trying to play on this pro-African, like, miss me, cry me a river, miss me with that. At the end of the day, if anything, your folks was a part of the Roman Empire, if anything, right? And it's like, I'm not going to get a part of that because there were multiple empires in Egypt. So we're not talking about the original Egyptians. We're talking about everybody that came over and conquered Egypt. So for thousands of years, there were so many different pharaohs, and those pharaohs came from different lands. And the Roman Empire ruled Egypt, I think, for like 2,000 years or some crazy like that. It's a lot that goes deep into that line, but you can tell it's a dig at Kendrick and him always propping up his Black ancestry. Because it's like, I think in Euphoria or one of the diss songs, he talked about us building the pyramids, or him. Yeah, I think he talked about him building the pyramids or us building the pyramids. I can't remember. I got to go back. But he did mention the pyramids in one of his previous songs. So he's always talking about that. Let's move on.
The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad.
Like, is he addressing Meet the Grams? He's totally addressing Meet the Grams. The last end of this verse is strictly aimed completely at Kendrick. let me break it down like this. The first verse, so it's 3 different verses. Let's see. Yes, so it's 3 different verses. The first verse was specifically aimed at him talking directly to LeBron. The second verse was him talking to Diddy. And then the third verse is him talking directly to Kendrick. But he's dissing all 3 of them throughout the entire song. And then this last one is specifically directly addressing everything regarding the songs that Kendrick dropped. Because this last part of this verse, this second half of the verse, he's clearly addressing stuff in Meet the Gram. Like, dude, we don't care. We know that's your daddy. No one said he wasn't your father, right? And you're admitting to being just like this man. The Dennis James comes out when the vodka is flooding my system. So you turn into your dad when you're drunk. Is that a good or a bad thing? Because last I checked, if you go back to Meet the Grams, that's not a good thing. I don't know if you should be admitting to that. I'm not sure if you should be submitting to what was said in that song, right? But clearly you are. To then go on and continue adding insult to injury. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. To what? What do you have an addiction to? Don't let Kendrick tell us what you got an addiction to. Because we know what he gonna say. But what you got an addiction to? Why would you even say that? That don't even make no sense. If you're trying to clear your name, why are you saying shit like this? That don't even make any sense, dude. You crashing the fuck out. Like, you're literally crashing out in your own song. Like, okay, if it was just a love letter and you just trying to, talk your shit or whatever, but you literally admitting to everything this man said about you. To then continue to say, I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. Oh, the little boy needs his mommy's permission. Like, oh, my mommy knows what I'm out here doing. So leave me alone. My mom already knows. Get off my back. My mom already knows. Leave me alone. Okay, Drake. Whatever you say. Whatever you say, my guy. Whatever you say. Jesus. And this last part, ciao. I don't know. Y'all might be mad at me on this last part, but y'all gonna like it.
I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga.
Child, okay. You think you funny? So literally he's talking directly to the Meet the Grams diss track. This whole verse, he's specifically talking to the Meet the Grams diss track. My daddy has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. One of two things, my guy. You either a terrible fucking human being for accepting men who are not even blood related to you as your brothers, but your dad told you got a sister and you're like, nah, fuck that bitch. That ain't my sister. So you ain't even claiming your own blood sister? And your dad told you that was your sister? Are you serious, dude? So you ain't gonna claim your own sister, but you claiming all these motherfuckers who ain't even kin to you, blood-wise, and they gave up on your ass as soon as a beef got too hot? You are the effed up individual, or, sir, you're speaking from Adonis's point of view. Which one is it? So are you trying to say, I don't have another daughter without saying you don't have another daughter? Or I don't have a daughter? And you're trying to play on words and act like you're speaking from your dad's perspective or from your personal perspective? Like, are you speaking from Aubrey or are you speaking from Adonis's standpoint? Which one is it? Either way, you messed up. If we're going to say this is from Adonis's standpoint, he's saying, oh, my dad Drake has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Why would you even say that if you were speaking from your son's standpoint? Because that would also make your son an effed up person too, right? No, would it not? Because he don't know what his daddy out here doing. But that's kind of like a way for you to say, that's not my child. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't have a daughter. Get out of here. You think you was slick. You ain't slick. I caught it. And it's like grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. So I guess he trying to make it seem like he grew up with both his mom and his dad's side. Because black people are predominantly Christian and we know that his mom was Jewish. So he's trying to allude and say that his daddy was in his life And you're not going to try to tell the world that my dad wasn't in my life. Well, we don't know that. When stuff first popped off in your career, I could have swore that you have reunited recently with your father in the beginning of your career, like after you became Drake. Like once you became Drake, I thought that that's when you united with your dad. Now you may have known your father, but he was inactive. I mean, did he not make music talking about that? Correct me if I'm wrong. I digress. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. His dad is Muslim, right? So he's really trying to dive deep into the fact that his dad was in his life. And y'all not going to sit up there and try to make him seem like he was fatherless growing up. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all telling me I wasn't that N-word. Drake, we know you're black, dude. But do you know that you're black? That's the question. We know that you're black. We accept you as black. But do you accept yourself, son, as black? That's the question. That's the question. I digress. So let's get into some juicy shit where I'm really about to freak y'all out a little bit. So I'm going to say something that in the next video, I'm going to walk you through everything and your minds will be blown. Kendrick already responded to Drake and no one even knows. No one even knows. And I'm about to prove it to you right now. Kendrick literally already responded to this man. And as I'm saying it to you right now, my heart is pounding because of how crazy this shit is. Now that we're done with Fighting Irish, let me get this off my screen. We don't need it anymore, but let's go back. Let's go back here. Let's look closely at what's going on in the actual video. So as we know, throughout this entire beef, there has been something that has been extremely consistent, visuals. And specifically with Kendrick Lamar, this man has always let us know that he knew what he knew because he had evidence. And I'm about to say something right now that's going to fuck your head up. Kendrick Lamar leaked this diss track. And I'm about to prove it to you right now. What's this right here? This object right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but this object right here, right above the TV, right in the middle, that's an Alexa speaker, right? Yeah. Who sponsored the Pop Out concert? Alexa, right? Oh, okay. What's this? Let's go back here real quick. Let's go back here. What? Look at that. EXT stereo. This a old like tube TV. The fat ones, the ones that we used to have back in the day, like the 90s and the early 2000s, like the fat TVs before we got the flat screen TVs. Ain't this a TV? Ask yourself a question. All right, so what's this right here? That little dot, that little red dot at the bottom of the TV. What did that dot used to represent back when we used to use these TVs? You were recording something or the TV was on. But typically the TV would have a different color. But this red dot symbolizes something was being recorded. I wonder what they were recording. Maybe this video? I wonder. I don't know what the hell this is at the top and what's on the other side, but it's some retro stuff. It's some throwback stuff. But because I can barely see it, it's a living room. You're in a dark living room with a TV, an old TV. Why is Drake's song being televised on a TV? Why is Drake's video on a TV screen? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe because, let me see if I can zoom in real quick. Because we got to see this. Let's zoom in real quick. Listen real closely.
The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem, I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child, I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga. That's fucking crazy. That's...
Someone start clapping.
What the fuck just happened? What just happened? Shit getting real crazy, scary, spooky, and hilarious. Cause like, what the fuck was that? Did that TV just turn off? Oh shit.
I'll be back.